In sports, some moments define history not by what happened, but by what almost did. The roar of the crowd, the thrill of a buzzer beater, the parade after a hard-won championship. These are the visible chapters of NBA history, but hiding in the shadows behind the bright lights and confetti are the forgotten moments. The deals whispered in boardrooms, typed up by GMs, and then never signed. This is the untold story of the NBA's greatest what-ifs. The trades that could have changed everything. Let's begin in 2009. Steph Curry was a rising star at Davidson, but entering the NBA, he wasn't seen as a sure thing. Ankle issues haunted him. Teams were hesitant. The Phoenix Suns saw an opportunity. They came knocking on Golden State's door with an enticing offer. A 25-point-per-game all-star in Amar'e Stoudemire and the 14th overall pick. A selection that could have landed them Jrue Holiday. That's right, Amar'e and Jrue for a banged-up Curry. The Warriors were tempted, so tempted that they were ready to accept. But then, someone in that Warriors war room paused. What if this skinny kid with fragile ankles was actually the future? What if his shot, his vision, his poise under pressure were signs of something extraordinary? They hit the brakes. No deal. That decision would change NBA history. Steph Curry stayed. The Suns moved on. The Warriors won 4 championships. And the Suns? They missed out on the greatest shooter the game has ever seen. Years later, in 2022, history nearly repeated itself, this time with Kyrie Irving at the center. The Lakers, desperate to reunite Kyrie with LeBron, put Russell Westbrook and 2 first-round picks on the table. The Nets considered it, but they had a counter. Westbrook, Austin Reeves, Max Christie, and 2 picks. The Lakers blinked. Too much. Deal declined. In hindsight, Kyrie might have been the missing piece to one more LeBron-led championship run, but the Lakers held the line. Whether it was stubbornness or strategy, the result was the same. Another potential dynasty, dissolved before it began, but few near trades sting like the one that almost landed Kobe Bryant in Chicago. It was 2007. The Lakers had just been bounced in the first round. Kobe, then 28 and in his prime, was frustrated. The Bulls pounced. They assembled a blockbuster offer: Joakim Noah, Luol Deng, Ben Gordon, and Tyrese Thomas. It was a king's ransom. The Lakers accepted. The paperwork was nearly complete. But Kobe held a trump card, a no-trade clause. And when he saw the names being offered, he said no. If you're trading me to Chicago, you better keep Dung. That was his condition. The Bulls refused. Kobe killed the deal, and just like that, the greatest Bull since Jordan never arrived. Chicago stayed good, but never great. They won 2 more titles with Kobe at the helm. One decision, made in a moment, echoed for years. Then there was Luka. In 2022, Dallas was teetering. Luka Dončić was frustrated, overworked, and carrying a team that gave him little help. The Denver Nuggets saw their chance. Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., and a first-round pick on the table. The twist? Luka's best friend Nikola Jokic played in Denver. The chemistry was pre-written, the stardom undeniable. But Dallas said no. They saw Luka not as trade bait, but as a generational cornerstone. They doubled down. Days later, they pursued Kyrie, Irving. And that's why today, instead of watching Luka and Jokic tear through defenses together, we have Luka and Kyrie, a pairing that, while volatile, still screams with potential. Denver missed out. Dallas rolled the dice and may still cash in. Of course, there are trades that, in hindsight, feel like missed disasters. The Oklahoma City Thunder had a decision to make. Keep Serge Ibaka's defense or James Harden's offense. They couldn't afford both. They explored trading Harden for a young sharpshooter, Klay Thompson. Golden State was interested. Harden and Curry? That would have been an offensive supernova. But the Warriors wanted more than Harden. They wanted picks. OKC hesitated. Deal off. Golden State won big. Klay became the perfect complement to Steph. Elite defense, clutch shooting, quiet intensity. OKC, meanwhile, lost Harden for almost nothing. The dynasty that never was. And then, perhaps the most shocking of all, the Warriors nearly traded both Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. The year was 2012. Chris Paul was still with the New Orleans Hornets. Golden State wanted him badly. They offered up Curry and Klay, a package that today would seem absurd. At the time, Curry's ankles were suspect. Klay was unproven. The Hornets accepted, but Chris Paul didn't. No trade clause? Nope. But leverage? Oh yes. Paul made it clear, if you trade for me, I won't re-sign. The Warriors backed off. The trade collapsed. Today, it seems like divine intervention. The Warriors built a dynasty around Steph and Klay. The Hornets, well, they missed their only real shot at immortality. Fast forward to 2024, Golden State, desperate to squeeze one. More ring from their aging core made a bold offer. Jonathan Kuminga, Andrew Wiggins, Chris Paul, rookie Brandon Podziemski, and 2 first-round picks for Joel Embiid. Philly thought about it. Embiid, as dominant as he is, struggles to stay healthy. But then came Tyrese Maxey. Then came Paul George. Suddenly, the Sixers had new hope. They declined. And strangely enough, everyone won. The Warriors kept their future. The Sixers kept their MVP. And fans, well, we missed out on a Steph Klay Embiid. Big three, but gained a deeper, more balanced NBA landscape. But some trades don't fall apart in backrooms. Some are killed on center stage. It's 2011. The Lakers, featuring a still-prime Kobe Bryant, negotiate a 3-team trade to land Chris Paul. Paul Gasol would go to Houston. The Hornets would receive a haul. Everyone agrees. The deal is done. And then, David Stern steps in. For basketball reasons, the commissioner vetoes the trade. The reasoning? Competitive balance. The optics of the league-owned Hornets sending Chris Paul to the Lakers were bad. Too bad. So instead, Paul goes to the Clippers. History split. The Lakers faded. Kobe aged. Dwight Howard and Steve Nash arrived, but failed. Paul, meanwhile, redefined the Clippers. But the real loss? Us? The fans. A prime Kobe and a prime Chris Paul together was denied by the league itself. But the strangest what-if of all. It involves the 2 biggest names in NBA history: Kobe Bryant, LeBron James. In 2007, with Kobe frustrated and the Lakers scrambling, they explored the unthinkable, trading Kobe to Cleveland. For LeBron, Kobe was still the best in the league. LeBron was just 22, still ascending. The Lakers figured they could build a new era around the chosen one. Cleveland declined. Someone in that front office believed in LeBron so deeply, they couldn't let him go, not even for Kobe. Instead, Cleveland offered everyone but LeBron for Kobe, trying to pair them. LA declined. No LeBron, no Kobe. And so, the dream of seeing the 2 greatest of their generation share a jersey died right there. Kobe stayed, LeBron stayed, and in their own time, they each delivered glory to their franchises. But no trade in NBA history looms larger than the one that would have rocked the league before many fans were even born. Michael Jordan, just 25 years old, fresh off an MVP season, and the Chicago Bulls, yes, the Bulls weren't sold, enter the LA Clippers. They offered everything. The number 1 and number 6 picks in the upcoming draft, plus 3 of their best players. It was bold, aggressive, and incredibly real. The Bulls shockingly were interested. They wanted more. They hesitated. The deal stalled. Jordan stayed. The rest? 6 rings, 2 three-peats. A legacy untouched. Had that trade gone through, the greatest. Dynasty in NBA history never happens. Jordan becomes a Clipper, a franchise that didn't make the playoffs for decades. The Bulls? Just another middle-of-the-pack team, chasing what they once had. And so, these trades, these missed connections, these halted dreams, they've become part of NBA lore. They remind us that the course of history isn't always shaped by what we see on the court, but by what's decided behind closed doors. A GM's hesitation, a player's no-trade clause, a commissioner's signature. These are the invisible hands that mold the league we love. Steph almost left. Kobe almost joined MJ's city. Luka nearly teamed with Jokic. Harden was a warrior for a second. And Jordan himself was nearly gone. But none of it happened. And because of that, the NBA became what it is today. The only question left is, what trade do you wish had happened? Would you rather have seen Kobe and LeBron on the same squad? Luka and Jokic's European takeover? Or Steph and Klay lighting it up for Charlotte? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's rewrite history together. And if you want more deep dives into the unseen stories of the NBA, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. Because behind every game, there's a story waiting to be told.